Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us for KIMT News 3 at 6 o'clock, a special edition of KIMT News 3. I'm Cami Raisler. Today marks 30 years since KIMT News 3 lost one of our own. Jodi Huisentruit has been missing since 1995. She worked here at this station. That's why we're bringing you the news tonight from Mason City. Now, it has been 30 years since anyone last saw Jodi Huisentruit. On the morning of June 27, 1995, the 27-year-old failed to show up for work. She had called in to a colleague around 4 a.m. saying she had overslept but was on her way in. That colleague actually had called her, but she did speak with Jodi. That would be the last time anyone had heard from her. Amy Kuntz was the producer that day who she spoke with on the phone for the very last time. And she was here. Amy was here earlier today. There was a ceremony, a nice brief ceremony outside the studio here in Mason City. And we do have team coverage here tonight. Our Jessica Bringy is with us, reporting more on this story and this investigation. It's ongoing. And our Evan Berg has been in Mason City all day with us covering this story. We'll start tonight with Jessica, who just anchored the 4 and 5 o'clock. This is a story, Jess, that we've been following at KIMT News 3 for a really long time. What can you tell us more about this investigation here today?
Well, starting, Cami, with what you mentioned, it was Amy Kuntz, that producer, who first sounded the alarm, noticed, of course, Jodi wasn't in for work, into this newsroom, this Mason City newsroom right here. And then when she failed to actually physically show up for her morning shift, very unlike Jodi, according to Kuntz, that's when a welfare check took place. And Kuntz realized she may have been the last person to speak with Jodi ever. Now, if we take a look back at the investigation, that started in 1995. And just to give you a little overview of how it all started and where it all began, it was really in her apartment complex that police discovered signs of a struggle. This was near Huisentrut's red Mazda Miata. It was in the parking lot. There were bent car keys, scattered belongings, personal items, a high heel that always sticks out. And it just clearly was evidence to police there had been a struggle that occurred. There was even a partial palm print. It was unidentified, recovered from her vehicle. That, of course, seemed like a good lead at the time, but has not led to an official arrest. And as you well know, we told you about in April that there was a partial release of a search warrant related to the case. Police believe that could be a big break, but as for now, that is a deceased prior suspect who was involved in that search warrant and had to do with the vehicle. But Mason City police say all of the leads, all of the time, don't diminish the fact that Jodi is missing and they want to bring her home.
There's never a bad time. There's never a wrong time to do the right thing. And so we're certain that there are people out there that have additional information that has not yet been shared with police or law enforcement. You can contact the Mason City Police Department or the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation to share that information. We'll find time to sit down and talk through that.
And Cami, there is a $50,000 reward still being offered for anyone who may have information to help Mason City Police recover what is now believed to be Jodi's body. At this point, she has been officially pronounced dead. And impactful, Cami, especially because we're now trying to promote what she really lived for, sharing information, hoping to share this information to bring her back home and return her to her family.
Yeah, definitely something that everyone is hoping for. And if you've seen the videos of Jodi Huisentruit, you know she was a bright light and a very, very positive person to work with. So a lot of her colleagues speaking today. We will touch on that ceremony a little bit later on.